Hi everyone, I'm Emma, TikTok ad expert from Ecomdy, and welcome back to our channel. So if you're thinking about how to run a TikTok ad but you don't know where to start, this video is for you. I'm going to break down from simple step-by-step roadmaps for beginners, from setting up your account and launch your first campaign. And make sure you stay until the end because I will share you an offer that you don't want to miss. So let's get started. Before launching your first campaign, you need to make sure your account and tracking are properly set up. Start by creating your TikTok ads account and complete your business information, including your industry and billings details. But don't rush into creating the campaign just yet, because most important step is setting up your tracking. If you're sending users to your website, then make sure your TikTok pixel is installed correctly and that your key conversions events are firing properly. For who use Shopify stores, you can use the available integration to connect your store and TikTok. If you're using another website platform, check the integration options available for your setup. And with good tracking allows you to understand what happens after someone clicks your ad, from landing page visits and add to cart, all the way to checkout and purchase. Without reliable tracking, it's much harder to know what's really working and where your budget is going. Now that your account and tracking are ready, it's time to launch your first campaign. Start by choosing a campaign objective that matches your actual business goal. If you're selling products through your website, a conversion-focused campaign is usually the starting point. Once your campaign structure is ready, pay close attention to your creative. Instead of relying on just one video, prepare multiple creative variations for testing. Try different hooks, open scenes, product angles, creators, offers, or calls to action. The goal isn't to make several copies of the same video. You want to give TikTok different creative concepts to test and learn from. And for your first campaign, you can start with the budget you're comfortable testing and give the campaign enough time and collecting meaningful data. Avoid making major changes too quickly, because constantly changing your campaign can make it difficult to understand what is actually driving the results. So your campaign is live, but how do you know whether it's actually performing? So you don't need to look at every single metric inside Ads Manager. Start with a few important ones. First is the CTR, or click-through rate. This tells you how effectively your creative is encourage people to click. Next is CPC, or cost per click, which helps you understand how effectively you're generating traffic. But here's something important. A low CPC doesn't automatically mean your campaign is successful. You also need to look at what happens after the click. Check your add to cart, the checkout, and the purchase data. And you can think about your funnel is full journey: creative, click, landing page, add to cart, checkout, and the final purchase. If you have a strong CDR but very few purchase, don't immediately blame the campaign, because the issue could be your landing page or product, offer, pricing, or your checkout experience. So look at the full funnel will help you to make much smarter optimization decisions. So what should you do when your TikTok ads aren't converting? First, don't immediately increase the budget or completely rebuild your campaign. Start by identifying where the problem is. If people aren't clicking, your creative or offer may need work. And if you're getting plenty of clicks but very few ads to cart, take a closer look at your landing page and product presentation. And if you're getting add to cart but very few purchase, check your pricing, checkout process, shipping information, and overall customer experience. And that is why you should look at the entire funnel instead of focusing on just one metric. Also, keep testing new creatives, because TikTok is a fast-moving, creative-driven platform, so a creative that performs well today may lose momentum later. Then the key is to test, learn from the data, and make changes based on what you actually see, not just guesswork. Let's say you found a campaign that's consistently delivering good results. What comes next? Scaling. But scaling doesn't mean simply increase your budget as fast as possible. Large and sudden change can affect campaign performance, so it's better to scale gradually while monitoring your key metrics. At the same time, don't stop testing creative just because you have a winner. you can with a creative fatigue can happen quickly, especially when the same content is repeatedly shown to your audience. You can keep building a pipeline of new creative concepts, hooks, and angles, and you can think of scaling as two things working together: more budget and more creative capacity. If you increase your spending but don't have enough fresh content to support that growth, performance can eventually slow down. And sustainable scaling comes from continuously finding what works and giving the platform more opportunities to learn. So before you launch your first TikTok ads campaign, let's talk about 5 mistakes that can waste your budget. The first is relying on just one creative. TikTok is a creative platform, so you need a consistent testing pilot. The second is changing your campaign too frequently. Give your campaigns enough time to collect useful data before making major decisions. And third, ignoring your landing page. A great ad can fix a slow, confusion, or poorly optimized website. And fourth is choose a product that doesn't fit the TikTok environment. Products that are easier to understand, visually interest, and have a clear value proposition can be easier to commute through short form video. And finally, forgetting about fulfillment. Your ads may generate sales, but poor shipping, product quality, or customer service can damage the business experience. Advertising is only one part of the customer journey, and you need to make sure the rest of your business is ready too. If you're starting the TikTok ads from scratch, here's the simple roadmap I recommend. First, set up your TikTok ads account and make sure your business information and billing are ready. Second, install your pixel and verify that your key events are tracking correctly. Third, launch a campaign with a clear objective and prepare multiple creative variations for testing. Fourth, don't just look at clicks, follow the entire customer journey from the ad to the final conversion. Fifth, identify your strongest creatives and campaigns, then scale gradually while continuing to test new content. And finally, make sure your landing page, product pricing, fulfillment, and customer experience can support the traffic you're generating. The biggest mistake begins to make is treating TikTok ads as a set and forget channel. So TikTok works best when you continuously test, learn, and improve. Start small, understand your data, keep testing your creative, and scale when you have a clear reasons to do so. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're just started with TikTok ads, I hope this video gonna help you scale up your business. And if you're looking for a simpler way to get started, luckily we have something new for you. If you become our new Ecomdy client, you can get 3% off on your first eligible top-up. For more TikTok ads tips and best practice, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.